Hello guys, it is Gate of Theories here, and guys, for today's tier list, I thought we'd take a trip down memory lane and go back to a show we all grew up with and all loved, and that was Victorious. So today, I thought we'd rank the Victorious characters in their very own tier list. But before we go any further, please make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we make any brand new Nickelodeon videos. So, here we are on the tier list, and before I go any further, I just want to say that I absolutely love all of these characters. I always thought that Schneider Bakery's shows and Dan Schneider's shows that he created, the characters in them were always some of the best things. So even if a character is lower down on the tier list, doesn't mean that I dislike them, it just means that they're not as good as some of the other characters. And just for fun, I decided to name the top tier Victorious because I just thought I would. So let's get started with the first character, Tori Vega. Now, Tori Vega is a controversial character, I think, because lots of the fans really dislike her. Lots of people, when they think of shows where their main character isn't as good as the other characters, they seem to hint to Tori Vega, not because of Victoria Justice. They just thought that Tori Vega basically got given everything to her on a plate, and she didn't really have to work for anything, and she's really quite bland as a character. I disagree with that, but I can see where people come from. I definitely don't think she's victorious as the show might suggest her to be, but I'd say she's definitely some of the top tiers. I think for now I'm going to put her in B tier, but she might go up higher. I know some people absolutely can't stand Tori and wish that someone else was the main character. I just personally don't feel like that. Next we have Andre. Now, I absolutely love Andre, and I especially love how he is just the perfect, best friend to Tori. If I was going to choose a best friend from a TV show, I'd probably want Andre to be it because, he's just a really nice guy, and I love his talent with music, and I think it's so awesome. And I just love when Andre gets, really worried about something, and you see him getting so stressed, and there are some hilarious lines throughout the show all about that. So, for me, Andre, I think he might be victorious tier. I absolutely love him. He's definitely better than Tori, so I think he's going to go up there. Next, we have Robbie. For me, Robbie isn't the best character out of all of them, mainly because you can tell he's a very specific type of character trait, and he sticks with that throughout all of his time on the show and doesn't really develop that much. He gets a bit more confident when talking to Kat, but I don't really think he's the best character. He's used more as the weird geek type of person for laughs, and I just don't think he's really that funny. So for that reason, he's going to go in the C tier. I don't think he's great, and that's about it. But I thought, just for fun, since Rex is kind of his own character, I thought we'd add Rex in this tier list as well. And as the show loves to hint at it, Rex is definitely better than Robbie. I don't think he's up here because at the end of the day, he is a puppet. But there are some lines that come out from Rex that are just hilarious. So I think Rex is going to go in the B tier. Next, we have Kat Valentine, of course, kickstarted off Ariana Grande's career, and I just love Kat. I mean, clearly the fans definitely do love Kat, else she wouldn't have got her spin-off show, Sam and Cat. Now, I'm not counting any of these characters' appearances in other shows like Sam and Cat, so I'm not counting Kat, what she's like in Sam and Cat, but I'm just counting her in Victorious, and she's just so funny. Kat's ongoing gigs, her laugh, just some of her stupidity, just all of it is just so funny throughout the show. I do think that she's better in the earlier seasons than the later seasons, but that's just my opinion, and I say she's probably A tier. I don't think she's victorious, but I do think she is a really funny character, and just a really funny dumb character that every sitcom needs. Next, we have Jade West. Definitely victorious. In fact, Jade, like many of you will probably agree with me, Jade is by far the best character in Victorious. And I think she's probably my favourite character from any Nickelodeon, and especially any Schneider Bakery show. I just love Jade as a character, how brutal she is, and all of the dark humour that she uses, and the way Elizabeth Gillies portrays her. It's just brilliant. This character especially is great for me because I absolutely love the Netflix show Dynasty, where Elizabeth Gillies went off to play Fallon Carrington, and it's basically just what if Jade was rich in that show. I just love it. I think Elizabeth Gillies plays Jade so perfectly, And I just think Jade is just a hilarious character. Like, the way she's just so brutal to all the other characters, the way how she is friends with Kat but treats her like rubbish, the way she literally just brutally goes up to Tori and says, I don't like you, is just really, really funny. So for that reason, Jade is victorious. And she's really talented in the show as well. And it's a shame that she didn't get more talent to be shown in it. Next, we have Beck. For me, Beck isn't as good as these guys up here, only because he is used so much to his character trait that he kind of doesn't feel like he has his own personality. He's basically used in the show as the hot boy who every single girl seems to fancy and fall in love with. I don't mind when he's with Jade, I think that works. Like, when he has chemistry with Tori, I think that works. Like, his relationships are good, but he just doesn't really develop. Like, he just stays the same throughout the entire show, which is fine, but it means that he's not going to get a top spot. I still really like all the episodes with him in. I think some of the stuff that he does are really good, but he doesn't really show that great talent like the rest of these ones do, and he's basically just used as a character type. So for that reason, I think he's going to go in the B tier. Next, we have Tori Vega. Of course, is meant to be played as the annoying sister, but I really like Trina, I'm not going to lie. I think Trina goes in the A tier for me. Some people would disagree with me on that reason because she is used for the classic, like, I'm untalented trait, and she just is annoying in every scene. But I kind of like it. Like, she gives the characters something to get annoyed at. And I tell you what I do like. I love Trina's relationships with these characters because she's not really friends with any of them, and so her trying to be friends with them is just hilarious. Whenever she tries to be friends with Kat, it always ends up something hilarious. Whenever she tries to be friends with Jade, and Jade just brutally rejects her like Tori, I think is so funny. And just Trina and Tori's banter that they have on screen is amazing for me. Next, we have Psychowitz. Who wouldn't love Psychowitz as your teacher? I think the ongoing jokes with Psychowitz are hilarious. The coconut jokes, just when he just comes up with these crazy, insane ideas that are brilliant plot episodes for the show. One of my favorite ones is the giant cupcake, sleepover at Psychowitz, the one where they have to give in all their phones. Just Psychowitz's drama ideas are some very creative ones, and for that reason, he is a really great character to me. I don't think he's as good as all the rest of these main characters, of course not, like, he doesn't get as much screen time, but I think he's going to go in the B tier because he's a laugh whenever he's on screen, and I love whenever they have a lesson with him. And like I say, Sleepover with Psychowitz and other ones where Psychowitz is one of the main parts of the episode, they're some of my favourites. Next, we have St. John, of course, basically the weirdo of the group, and I just don't really like him, so he's going to go in D tier. I think the problem with St. John is he was great in small doses. I thought he was really funny in the first season, but then they started letting him appear more regularly, and I think it kind of ruined his character, because what was great about his character is he would just appear in random episodes and just say something really weird. And then by the time you get to season 3, he's like a main character and is basically as big as Trina and Psychowitz, and it just doesn't work for me as well. So for that reason, he got a bit too weird for me. So St. John is going to go in the D tier. Next, we have Birth. Same thing. Like, I liked it when he started appearing at first, then he just ended up just always being St. John's sidekick and was appearing all the time. So he's a bit uninteresting. He's going to go in the D tier. Next, we have Lane. He's an interesting one because he's kind of just used as the teacher who gives guidance, but he gives it in such a calming and weird and funny way. Like, all of the comedy with his hand cream and all that sort of stuff, I think is hilarious. But overall, he doesn't really get much screen time. He's not like a standout in the show. So I think he's going to go in the C tier because he's not like awful like St. John, because I really can't stand him. Lane just is fine. So he's in C tier. Next, we have Tori's dad and Tori's mum. Tori's dad is good in the episodes that he's in. Like, he doesn't really do much. So he's like Lane. He's fine in the episodes where he's in. And I don't really miss him when he's not there. So C tier. On the other hand, Tori's mum has a bit more to do in the show. I think when she gets involved with Tori and Trina's drama, it can get really funny at times. Of course, I don't think she's like as good as the rest of these characters, but I think she's definitely better than her husband. So I'm going to put her at the end of B tier. But anyway, guys, that is the end of our tier list. What did you guys think about it? Did you agree with me? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments, and make sure that you smash that like button down below and have also subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let us know where you would place the victorious characters in your very own tier list. If you want to check out this tier list for yourself, there'll be a link down below in the description where you can go and check it out and fill it in, and then just share it with us and we'll probably get back to you. And as always, we've been here on Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.